Would squatters and drug deals near your home make you uncomfortable? Well, neighbors here in Serra Mesa are fed up and they don't feel safe.
2022 saw high home prices and mortgage rates. What will 2023 bring?
It's called Steel Night. Marines and sailors working together. We'll show you how today's exercise went here at Camp Pendleton.
And no one should have to choose between paying bills and eating. We're kicking off Feeding San Diego's holiday giving season.
Plus, tips on staying eco-friendly as the holiday waste piles up. CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now.
We have sad news to tell you out of Hollywood tonight. We are just learning that actress Kirsty Alley has died. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. Alley's son and daughter confirmed the news just moments ago on Facebook and the actress's Twitter page. She first came to fame during the 80s, co-starring in the sitcom series Cheers, the TV miniseries North and South, and later movies like Look Who's Talking.
According to that social media post from her children, Alley died after a battle with cancer that was only recently discovered. They say she was surrounded by her closest family and fought with great strength, adding that as iconic as she was on screen, she was even a more amazing grandmother and mother. Kirsty Alley was 71 years old. Our other top story tonight, some people in Serra Mesa are worried about a house full of so-called squatters just doors away in a military housing neighborhood.
People in the neighborhood say they've reported the problem over and over, but nothing's changed. Brian White has been working for you today to get answers.
I'm here near Murray Ridge Road in this Liberty Housing for Military Families. Now, people say there's a problem house just down the road here, and it's got neighbors worried and they don't feel safe.
It's just the most uneasy feeling. It's very eerie.
Neighbors reached out to us with growing concerns about a situation here on Murray Ridge Road where they say 4 or 5 vagrants have been staying here since late October after the previous tenants moved out. A neighbor I spoke with doesn't want to be identified.
It was like seeing somebody that I had actively saw on a mattress behind CVS go into a housing unit that's 4 doors down from me. It was like, whoa, what's going on?
This is the same house where a garage fire broke out just over a year ago, injuring 2 children inside, ages 2 and 4, who were taken to UC San Diego for burn treatment. A year later, that family moved out, and now we're told some squatters have moved in.
For a while, we ignored it. It was like, whatever, there's homeless people going in here. It was when we started to notice the drug activity. When it was like, man, like, you know, it's one thing to have them just living in their rent-free, but now they're bringing something into our community it's not safe.
They've recorded these cell phone videos of what they say are cars pulling up for drug deals, sometimes signaling with flashlights to people inside the house. Another neighbor who also wants to remain anonymous is scared for her children to be near this.
My oldest is 3 years old. He's coming to me, you know, mommy scared, because you know, he can see everything that's going on.
They've reported the issue many times to SDPD and to their Liberty Housing District office, but so far they haven't heard of any progress. I reached out to the police and they didn't get back to me with any information, so I paid a visit to the Liberty Housing District office, and they couldn't help me there in person, but afterward I received a phone call from a public relations person who confirmed the previous tenants moved out, and now they're taking steps toward an eviction process so the squatters can be removed. Liberty Housing said in a statement, Liberty Military Housing has been working with our private security and local law enforcement to address the situation and will continue to do so. Meanwhile, the neighbors around here are just hoping for some kind of resolution.
Hopefully they, you know, kick the people out, you know, gut that house out, change the locks.
In Serra Mesa, I'm working for you. Brian White, CBS 8.
Thanks for that breakdown, Brian. And don't forget, here at CBS 8, we are working for you. If there's an issue you'd like us to look into, email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com.
The body of a rock climber has been recovered tonight after he fell 200 feet yesterday off El Cajon Mountain in the lakeside area.
San Diego Sheriff's investigators tell us they got the call about the climber around noon yesterday. He was a young man in his early 20s. Search and rescue crews had to wait until this afternoon to recover his body because that terrain is so treacherous. People living near the mountain say they know that area well.
It's just as steep on the backside, if not steeper, and it's more remote. It's pretty wild. You got to go through a bunch of creeks and ravines and dense brush.
Right now, we don't know the name of the climber or anything else about him.
Oceanside police are looking for two men who robbed a mini-mart over the weekend, shooting a clerk in the stomach as they made their getaway.
CBS 8's David Gottfredson has surveillance video just released of the robbers.
The first thing you notice when you walk inside this AM/PM in Oceanside is surveillance cameras everywhere. 18 of them, both inside and outside the store. So while it may be surprising that a gunman and his accomplice picked this store to rob on Sunday morning, it's not at all surprising that the robbers were caught on video.
At approximately 4:25 Sunday morning, two suspects entered the AM/PM location at the 1900 block of Oceanside Boulevard, at which point they approached the cash register and the cashier on duty at the time and demanded that he provide money from the cash register.
The clerk took out the cash and placed it on the counter.
At that point, an altercation takes place and the cashier attempts to chase the suspects out of the store armed with a wooden stick. The suspects grab the cash off the counter, and close to the entrance of the store, suspect one fired a shot and injured the victim.
The store clerk was shot in the stomach and the robbers escaped. They are described as Hispanic males in their 20s.
Suspect one was wearing a black hooded sweatshirt, black pants, and black shoes, and armed with a semi-auto handgun. Suspect two is described as wearing a gray New Balance hooded sweatshirt, black sweatpants, and black shoes.
During a crime in progress, police advise do not confront the robbers. Instead, comply with their demands, call police after, and give officers a detailed description of those involved.
It's not worth risking your life over a couple $100s.
Now, we just got some good news about that clerk who was involved in this incident. He is no longer in critical condition at the hospital. In Oceanside, David Gottfredson, CBS 8.
All right, David, thanks. Tonight, it's costing you less to fill up your tank. Gas prices dropped nearly 2 cents in San Diego County overnight. Right now, the average for a gallon of regular unleaded stands at $4.81. That is down from $4.83 yesterday and 27 cents less per gallon than the $5.08 we were paying just a week ago.
Of course, it was just 2 months ago that the average price of gas in San Diego County hit a record high of $6.43 a gallon. Today marked the start of Governor Gavin Newsom's special session to punish oil companies for the prices we saw during the summer and fall.
Our political reporter Morgan Reiner has new details tonight on how the governor wants to make sure your pain at the pump isn't their gain.
The special session lasted all of 3 minutes today. It will really pick back up when the regular session does on January 4th. But we did get something in writing today from the governor's office on how he wants to go about penalizing these oil companies. From gavel in to gavel out.
First extraordinary session is recessed.
The extraordinary session lasted about 3 minutes.
It's my honor to nominate Anthony Rendon to be the Speaker of the California State Assembly.
The main reason why lawmakers made their way to Sacramento Monday was to elect party leadership, to swear in new members.
Congratulations.
Republicans not surprised that the special session will run alongside the normal one in January.
The governor is very good at making splashy political headlines.
Vice Chair of the Budget Committee, Republican Assemblymember Vince Fong, said penalizing oil companies is not the solution to high gas prices.
We know that there is some extraordinary work to be done.
Democrat Assemblymember Garcia said he knows this is a special session that needed to happen.
I would love to see gas prices go down, and we have to have a comprehensive conversation.
Shortly after the session concluded, details from the governor's office came in. In this bill language, Newsom wants to penalize gas companies when they make over a certain profit, and that money will then go into a fund to go back to Californians in some form. Lots of details left blank in that bill. When does the penalization period start? Blank. How much does the governor want to penalize these oil companies? Blank. How much profit are these oil companies allowed to make before the governor decides it's time to penalize them? Blank. It will likely take a while before these lawmakers get to answering all of those questions.
Thanks, Morgan. If you still don't have your real ID and are worried about the deadline, there's some good news. Tonight, the Department of Homeland Security has pushed back the deadline from next spring to May 7th, 2025. That's 2.5 years from now, plenty of time. After that, identification that does not meet Real ID standards will not be accepted by federal agencies. That includes the TSA, which means travelers 18 and older will not be able to get through airport security if they don't have the Real ID.
I saw that deadline coming up and wondered how that was going to happen because there are a lot of people that still don't have it. So that's good news that they made an extension.
One of the reasons they said they had their own pandemic crunch, so
Yes.
pushing it back, give us a little more time to get in compliance.